Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto Legendary Super Saiyan God Chunin exams. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by ALUCARDY17 and link in the description and support writer. Let's start the video. Start. Asha, a very pregnant female Saiyan thought long dead, made her way through an abandoned castle on a long-forgotten planet to the room of possibly the most powerful Saiyan bar, a fusion to ever live, and the father of her unborn son, Broly. Now many thought Broly was an evil maniac destined to destroy the universe, and on some counts, they would be right. However, what they didn't know was that Broly did have a good side. Many years ago when Broly was still a boy, his father Paragus had found the battlefield that Fasha was on barely clinging to life, but alive nonetheless. After years of nurturing, Fasha was able to again return to battle, but soon found herself becoming attracted to the silent and yet brutal Broly. His power made the very galaxies quake before he went on a rampage and destroyed them. But what no one knew, not even Paragus, was that Fasha had been able to calm down the evil in Broly, and they fell in love over time until Fasha became pregnant. When Broly first fought the Z fighters on New Vegeta, he had only held back long enough for an unknown spaceship that no one else was able to sense get off the doomed planet. Anyway, after he was able to get away from the doomed planet and was soon able to meet back up with his lover instead of heading to Earth for revenge. And now he and Fasha lived on this planet, that is until the day Fasha went into labor. King Kai's world. Oh no, Broly is alive and he is having a child. I can sense from here that the child will be far more powerful than even his father. I must warn Goku and the others that they will have to kill Broly and his progeny before the universe is destroyed. King Kai said to his monkey Bubbles. Goku. It's urgent. Broly was not killed by the comet on New Vegeta, and right now, he has a son that's about to be born, and his power level is off the charts for an infant. You must go to planet Kamiko and destroy Broly, and his infant or the universe will be destroyed. King Kai yelled through a telepathic link with Son Goku on Earth. But King Kai, it's just a baby, shouldn't it be allowed to live to make its own choices? Goku responded as he held his ears from King Kai's rant. Goku, this child has the potential to destroy everything. His power level right now is over 1 million. That's as strong as Frieza's second form, and it's only a few seconds old, Goku. And its power is steadily rising. King Kai exclaimed to the Saiyan hero. Okay King Kai, I'll gather the others and we will head to the planet and finish off Broly once and for all. Goku responded with a heavy heart. Time skip 3 days. Fasha had given birth to a son which she and Broly named Naruto. The infant had spiky black hair like his father, and unlike most Saiyan children, his tail was golden instead of brown. The most amazing thing about the child was his power level, which was unheard of for any infant. Even Broly himself only had a power level of 10,000. Naruto's power level was over 2 million. The boy's fighting potential surpassed that of any other Saiyan to be born. Fasha at the moment was nursing her son as he suckled her breast for nourishment. Broly suddenly appeared in the room using his high speed. Fasha, I sense that the Z fighters are on their way here to kill me and Naruto. Broly said as he moved towards Fasha and his son. The son he would now be forced to abandon because he was not allowed to have a family. Why come after Naruto? He is only a child, he has done no wrong. Fasha asked as she quickly finished feeding her son and got ready for combat. His power level is over 2 million. Fasha, anyone would fear an infant that has that kind of power, and with me, a freak, being his father, they will never let him live. Broly answered as he ushered his lover to a specific launching pad. Fasha, they have the power combined to destroy me and you, as well as Naruto. For his safety, we have to use the special training ship to transport him to another planet that is beyond this half of the universe. Broly said as they came to a medium-sized ship. The ship was specifically built to allow only Broly or anyone he chose to get in and train. All the knowledge Broly had in the ways of fighting as well as the fighting styles of all those Broly had ever fought was recorded in this very ship, and there was a specific programmed robot that would help train his son when he came of age. Broly, do we really have to give up our son? Fasha asked looking sad and dejected. I'm afraid that we do, Fasha, but we will one day meet him again somehow, some way. In fact, I have found a way to transfer a bit of our souls into him so we can watch over him and help him when it's time. Broly replied. But that they packed away all of their respective knowledge into the computer, and Broly used a special technique to put pieces of both his and Fasha's soul into his son. Grow up and become more powerful than anyone else in the universe, my son, and know that you have made this demon of a father proud no matter what you do. Broly said as the ship began to rise from the ground. Take care, my son, and know that we love you. Fasha said with tears flowing down her cheeks. They both felt the Z fighters landing on the planet, and Goku, along with Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan and future Trunks, appeared surrounding the lovers as the spaceship suddenly teleported through a rift in space that it created. Broly, long time no see, you should have just died on New Vegeta like the trash you are. Vegeta said with arrogance in his voice as he transformed into his Super Saiyan mode, along with Goku, Gohan, and Trunks. You talking to me, coward? Last time I let you live on a whim, now I'm going to kill you all for making me give up my son. But that declaration, Broly's power jumped to unbelievable levels as he transformed to first his Super Saiyan mode, then to his legendary Super Saiyan mode, which had grown in far more power than what it was before. Asha charged up her own power which rivaled Piccolo's own, as she had been training with Broly and Paragus for years after they saved her and had reached a level where she could fight as Super Saiyan and hold her own. You will regret making me give up my son, especially you Kakarot, seeing how it was I who kept reminding your father that he even had a second son. Fasha stated as she gave him a heated look. I'm sorry it had to come to this, but you and your son are too dangerous to be left alive. Goku said with a downtrodden face. But that the battle began. Time skipped 6 hours. The spaceship that little Naruto was on had finally arrived to its destination, a planet that was constantly war-torn and fighting. It was the planet of Shinobi. This planet was completely insignificant to any off-worlders for one simple reason. The strongest power level ever recorded on this planet was at 100,000, and that had been a millennium ago, belonging to the man known as the Rakuto Sennin, after he had made himself the first Jinchuriki by sealing the Juubi into himself. Broly knew of this war-torn world and sent his son there to become a powerful warrior that would conquer all in his way and show them all the might of the Saiyans. As little Naruto soared through the sky, a devastating fight for survival was going on at the village of Konohagakure, no Sato. Kyuubi no Yoko, the 9-tailed demon fox, had been broken free from its previous Jinchuriki Kushina Uzumaki by one Madara Uchiha in the hopes of destroying Konoha, and at that moment, it seemed that's what would happen. Minato Namikaze, the Yondaime Hokage of Konohagakure, was trying to find a way to stop the Kyuubi, but could think of nothing that would be powerful enough to do so. He was at first going to seal the beast into his son, but that was stopped by the fact that his son had been killed by Madara after the Kyuubi was released. Madara then engaged Minato in battle, and after an extremely tiring battle, Minato was able to put a contract fuin on him to wrest the Kyuubi from his control. Kyuubi, now free from its hypnosis, continued its attack on Konoha. Minato summoned Gamabunta on top of the Kyuubi right before it could fire another Imari-tailed beast ball into the village. He then teleported it away outside of the village. Just as Minato was preparing to battle the Kyuubi, more a bright object came skittering through the sky and hit the Kyuubi on the snout and then crashed to the ground. Suddenly screams of an infant could be heard from inside the object, which Minato was now able to see was some kind of spherical ship that was about the size of a home. The screams at first did nothing, but then suddenly the screams began to shake the very planet itself. Kyuubi felt a power that was far more powerful than its own, even more than even the Juubi. Whatever was in that sphere was something the Kyuubi knew it couldn't face. Minato flashed down to the sphere and noticed that the crash had knocked open the door to the ship, and he noticed a crying baby at the door. Minato was startled at the sheer power the baby had. He could feel the chakra from this baby was even more powerful than that of the Kyuubi itself. And Minato could feel that the boy's power was increasing with each passing second. And even more strange was the golden monkey tail swinging back and forth at the child's backside. Minato noticed a name engraved on a golden necklace, Naruto. Think Broly's necklace. That was the name of my son as well. I can feel that you are something no one in this world will ever be able to match up to with your potential. I don't know who you are, but I now have a way to keep the Kyuubi from destroying Konoha and keep the balance of the Jinchuriki in the elemental nations. Minato said with a grim look. Minato noticed that the Kyuubi had stopped attacking and was now looking at the child in fear. Just what are you, child, to have even the mighty Kyuubi frightened? Forgive me for this, young one, but I must do this to save my precious people in the village. But the finality, Minato began doing hand seals for the Shiki no Fune. Unnoticed by Minato, the spaceship began to submerge into the ground until it would be needed by the young Saiyan. Time skip 1 day. Kyuubi had been sealed into young Naruto, and Hiruzen Sarutobi had been reinstated as the Sandium Hokage, now that Minato was dead. Man, I'm too old for this, why couldn't you let me do the jutsu, Minato, and now your son will face the unbridled hate of this village. Sarutobi did not know that the Naruto before him was from another planet. He did find it weird that the boy looked nothing like either Minato or Kushina. And the golden monkey tail. That wasn't supposed to be a symptom of being a Jinchuriki, and Sarutobi knew that if anyone saw it, they would put 2 and 2 together. He had tried to cut it off, but each time a blade touched it, the blade would break, even when enhanced by chakra. And each time anyone touched the tail, Naruto would begin to wail, and then the entire village would shake. And the chakra coming off the boy was so powerful it actually brought quite a few Anbu to their knees, and even Sarutobi could only be near him for a short period of time before even he succumbed to the effects of the boy's powerful chakra. It was more chakra than even the Kyuubi had, and Sarutobi knew that shouldn't be possible, but here it was an infant with more power than any shinobi to have ever lived. Sarutobi shook his head as he prepared to go to a council meeting to discuss young Naruto. Time skip 1 hour council chamber. We should kill the demon now while it's weak. Yelled a pink-haired civilian counselor named Sakai Haruno. No, he is a weapon of Konoha and needs to learn how to control the beast within himself to best benefit the village. Danzo stated. Where is the Jinchuriki Sarutobi? Danzo asked with a gleam in his eye. The boy is in my home, it was unsafe to bring him here. Sarutobi answered, feeling a headache coming on. And why did you feel it was so dangerous, Hokage-sama? Is the Kyuubi trying to break free? Asked Kaharu Utate, a shinobi elder. No, the boy has far more chakra than the Kyuubi itself had, and it's so powerful that it brings Anbu-level shinobi and even myself to our knees, just going near the child for more than a few moments at a time. Sarutobi answered, gaining looks of disbelief and fear from the counselors and a calculating look from Danzo as he thought of the limitless possibilities of a Jinchuriki with more power than even its Biju. Especially when that Biju is the strongest of the 9 and is said to have a limitless chakra supply. What? This demon is too strong to let live, we must kill it now. Another civilian council member yelled as others joined him in agreement. No. The Yondium wished for the boy to be seen as a hero, and he shall be. His status as a Jinchuriki is now an S-rank secret, and if anyone tells him or those of the younger generation about it, they will be executed without a trial. Sarutobi roared, releasing killing intent to get his point across. Sarutobi, give me the child to train so he can serve this village. Danzo demanded. No, Danzo, and if you keep bringing this up I will have you executed for insubordination. What is the child's name, Hokage-sama? Hiashi Hyuga asked. His name is Naruto Uzumaki. Sarutobi stated and ended the meeting. Time skip 3 years. It had been 3 years since the Kyuubi attack and Konoha had begun its slow recovery. One Naruto Uzumaki could be found in the most dangerous forest known throughout Konoha as Area 44, the Forbidden Forest, training. Now this may seem off for most normal children, but Naruto was beyond normal and he knew it, and not just because of his golden monkey tail, which earned him the name Tsurugaki. He liked to fight, even when he knew he had no chance of winning the fight, he would always get back up and go at it more. Each time he fought his strength increased by 10, and for Naruto that was an immense amount. No one could tell why he liked to fight, but everyone, from the lowest civilian to even the Hokage, knew never to piss off Naruto in a fight. The last shinobi to do so had attacked Naruto, attempting to assassinate him for revenge against the Kyuubi, and had attacked and killed Michiraku, the boy's friend from the ramen stand, and Naruto lost it. His chakra spike destroyed, annihilated more than 8 miles of Konoha. And had killed more than 100 people including 25 shinobi, as well as the shinobi that attacked him. From that day on the entire village treated Naruto with even more fear and hatred than before, but they no longer lashed out at him, fearing for their lives more than ever. The Hokage had to agree to put Naruto through a psychological test done by Inoichi Yamanaka himself to keep Danzo from getting Naruto put into Na to control his vast powers. The test had Inoichi plunging into young Naruto's mind but away from the Kyuubi to check and make sure that the boy was not unstable. Inoichi wasn't able to explain it, but it seemed that Naruto's mind was actually more matured and prepared for battle than even veteran shinobi. Suffice it to say, the village began showing even more hatred and fear towards the boy. His power continued to grow until the point where Naruto had to stay alone because no one in the entire village was strong enough to stay around him without fainting from the power of it. He was lonely and he absolutely hated it. The cold looks and glares, the insults all piled up until Naruto no longer cared for anyone in the village except the ramen chef Ichiraku since his daughter had been killed. No one else in the village cared for him and he cared for no one else. Naruto started to train at an early age, he had started walking at a few months old and was soon lifting rocks that even grown men couldn't budge. At the age of 2 he started practicing taijutsu since he knew he wouldn't be able to go to the ninja academy because of his powerful chakra. He found that he was a prodigy when it came to taijutsu. He was able to smash thick trees with his bare fists and feet with no chakra enhancement. Naruto had met a jounin who was a taijutsu expert. While the man was unable to stay with Naruto for a long period of time, he was able to take it longer than anyone else in the village, and he saw how lonely Naruto was and yet dedicated to training in taijutsu, and he began training the boy in the basics. But Naruto proved to be a very prodigal student and had mastered the entire Gokin style of taijutsu at the age of 3. And had changed it to a level even Guy couldn't hope to master to fit his more flexible yet powerful body type. He even trained Naruto to use Kage Bushin with his large chakra reserves, as well as had him learning to control his beyond immense chakra, which was almost futile. Naruto had far more of the physical aspect of chakra and not from just Kyuubi, but from his very heritage. With so much physical energy he could never hope to control all of his chakra, but he was able to get to a level where he could do water walking. Naruto's stamina was through the roof, even for a Jinchuriki. He trained non-stop even when Guy himself would have passed out from the exercises that Naruto did, such as lifting boulders that weighed a total of 10 tons. And he tied it to his back as he ran around Konoha's wall until he would fall out, which was almost at dusk each day, and that was because he had to take breaks. He did hundreds of thousands of push-ups, sit-ups and other exercises as he toted the heavy boulders daily, causing him to develop even stronger muscles than everyone in the entire country. I was able to get Naruto some weights that had gravity seals on them that made them weight up to however much chakra was put into them, and Naruto put enough chakra in them to equal 8 tons on each limb and his torso. And after each time his body got used to the weight he would double the amount. After that Naruto would spend the night away practicing his new form of the Goken, in which he incorporated other known styles and even added the use of his knees and elbows to use his strength, which by the way was beyond anything even Tsunade could hope to use, and his flexibility to overcome his opponent. With its unpredictable style, the Sharingan was useless against it. Naruto pushed himself beyond the limits of any shinobi in the entire village and soon became strong enough to even take on Jounin. I was more than proud of his pupil, but now he was being forced to leave Naruto alone, thanks to the council. Naruto, I am pleased to say that as your sensei I have nothing left to teach you. Your taijutsu is beyond my own and you are able to hold your own against me at full power. You are now your own master now. Guy said proudly. Naruto beamed at his sensei as he always wished for someone to recognize his existence, and it was Guy who did. However, Naruto, I can no longer come around you. Guy said with a hard look on his face, not from Naruto but because of the council. Naruto however thought it was because of himself and said, so, you think I'm a demon like all the rest, you never wanted to do it, did you? Naruto yelled hysterically, which caused a crater to form underneath them. And before Guy could explain himself, Naruto took off at speeds, even Guy couldn't hope to keep up with his weights off and activating the Hachiman. I'm so sorry Naruto, you were the greatest pupil anyone could ever hope to have, thought Guy as a tear rolled down his face. Time skipped 6 hours later. Naruto was deeper in the Forbidden Forest than anyone, even Anko Mitarashi went and was smashing through anything in his way, which included trees, tigers, and giant insects. Why must I be all alone and everyone hate me? Naruto asked himself as he destroyed another tree. His power level was increasing with his anger, and right now it was beyond anything the Kyuubi could ever generate, and the whole planet was shaking from his anger. A deep green outline of power sparked around Naruto as he continued to pound away at the forest. Naruto suddenly looked up and saw the moon. He was entranced. He had never looked at the moon because a voice in his head said as long as he had his tail, that would be a terrible idea. But tonight that voice was quiet. Naruto didn't know what was going on, but he suddenly felt himself losing his conscious thought as he felt himself becoming bigger and bigger. Golden fur covered his skin and his eyes lost their pupils and became blood red. His last thought was, I will make you pay Konoha. And Konoha at that time. Okage-sama, we must kill that demon before it gets any stronger. A civilian counselor yelled. I have made Guy stop training the boy as you forced me to do, but I will not kill Naruto, and that's the end. Before he could finish his sentence, a chakra that put Kyuubis to shame spiked and everyone knew who it belonged to, except now it was thousands of more times stronger than what it usually was. Wire. What is that, Hokage-sama? Did the Kyuubi escape? Asked a quivering civilian. No, this isn't the Kyuubi's power, it's something far more powerful. Sarutobi said as he took off his robes and revealed his black battle suit. Okage-sama, there is a golden ape 3 times the size of any Biju recorded and it has only one tail. It appeared in the Forbidden Forest and is attacking the village as we speak. An Anbu with an Inu mask said as he sunshined into the room. Inu, mobilize all shinobi and prepare for battle, have the civilians evacuated. With that, Sarutobi jumped out the window and went to save his village. Battlefield. Hundreds of shinobi were dying left and right as they attacked the giant ape, trying to stop it from destroying their village, but it was far too powerful to be stopped. The ape roared and fired a concentrated red beam that was far more powerful than any Amari anyone had ever heard of and fired it into the village, destroying more than half the village. It's destroying the village like the Kyuubi never could, we must stop it for our families. Sarutobi said as he appeared on the battlefield with Enma in his transformed state. Could this be Naruto? It has his chakra and that tail, it's just like Naruto's. What is this? Sarutobi asked himself. Suddenly in a poof of smoke a giant Baku appeared and opened its maw and used its suction to pull the ape towards himself. Danzo appeared behind the ape and shouted, Fton. Shinktajoku. Firing a huge vacuum sphere that was increased in size and power by the suction of his Baku, hit the ape but did no damage as the ape kicked the Baku as if it were nothing, sending it back its realm. Danzo, we are going to have to work together to stop this thing. Hiruzen said as he shunshined near Danzo. It's the Jinchuriki Sarutobi, my men saw him transform into this after he looked at the moon. Danzo stated as he summoned another Baku. What, how is that possible? Sarutobi asked in shock. I don't know, but I told you to give me the boy when he was a baby and he would have been the greatest shinobi under my tutelage, but now he's destroying Konoha more than even Kyuubi. Danzo said with emotion. Well, we have to find a way to stop him now, but I don't know how. He has always been different and now this is beyond anything we have ever faced. I fear there is no way we can win this fight. Hiruzen said somberly. Is this that will of fire you be talking about every day, just giving up? Danzo growled. No, it's not, but we dug our own graves by mistreating and hating the boy and now he's going to destroy us all. Enough, Sarutobi, I refuse to have this village destroyed by this thing and you will do your job and help me conquer it. Danzo all but yelled. Give up. The ape suddenly yelled as it chuckled. Naruto had done what many low-level Saiyans only dreamed of and that was controlling their ape form. You have mistreated me for years and hated me for no reason and now I'm going to make you all pay. Ape Naruto said as he charged and fired another red beam of energy. That wiped out another 300 shinobi. It's now or never, Sarutobi, I will fight to the end to stop this beast. Danzo snarled as he launched another vacuum-enhanced sphere of wind. Sarutobi took quick action and added a Kaiten. Karyu ended into the attack as it sped to Ape Naruto. The attack, while a huge blazing firestorm of cutting blades, proved useless against Naruto as he knocked it aside and continued to attack Konoha. Suddenly Naruto's huge foot hit the exact spot where his spaceship crashed and a blinding light appeared and Naruto disappeared. The shinobi were overjoyed as they couldn't feel the oppressing chakra and power of the demon. It looks like we live to fight another day, Sarutobi. Danzo said as he looked over to Sarutobi. Yes, but for how long after the other villages find out about this attack they will attack us and we will be destroyed? Sarutobi said solemnly. Not if you reinstate my new unit and recall your last 2 students to bolster the ranks of the village, as well as get more funding from the Fire Daimyo to militarize the village once more. I have a feeling we are not done with Naruto Uzumaki yet. Danzo said as they headed back to fix up their village. Time skip one day. Naruto awoke to a beeping sound and found himself in a familiar room that was the size of an average home. He looked around and saw a metal man come on. He's only 3 and said metal man was moving towards him. The metal man then said, hey young master, I am the combat droid 6000, I have been programmed to train you until you have mastered everything left by your father Broly and mother Fasha, 2 very powerful Saiyans. What's a Saiyan? Naruto asked. Hours later after the droid had explained everything to Naruto from his heritage down to how he got to this planet and the reasons behind it. To say Naruto was pissed was like saying Jiraiya was a little perverted. A huge understatement. Naruto's power spiked, but luckily the ship had transported the moment Naruto was inside to a dimension similar to the hyperbolic time chamber, so the planet did not shake, but this dimension sure did. Naruto's green aura returned more powerful than ever as he relived all the hatred and suffering that was caused by Konoha and then thought of why it all started. The Z fighters. Suddenly Naruto began to yell as the green energy spiked to unheard of levels and then exploded. When the light died down, Naruto's hair had taken a greenish hue and even spikier than before and he now had an aura field around him. The combat droid came forward and said, young master, you have transformed into a Super Saiyan and at such a young age, you truly are your father's son. I want revenge on them all, the villagers, the Z fighters, all of them. Naruto stated in a deadly tone. Young master, there is one more thing you should know, you have what is known here as the Kyuubi sealed into you. The robot stated. I no longer care about such inferior creatures as the Biju, and since I have Kyuubi in me, I will train until I can destroy it and take its measly power for myself. Naruto said. Young master, I can train you in the ways of your mother and father as they did leave all of their combat knowledge in my programming. Okay, let's begin and don't hold back, when I return to that planet I will make them all fear the name of Naruto. Time skip 9 years. Let me clarify, Naruto has been inside a dimension like the hyperbolic time chamber, so time passes differently in this case. A day is an entire year, so 365 days and 9 years gives you a grand total of 3285 years in the chamber, I think. Now Saiyans age a lot slower than humans, so Naruto looks about the age of 16, but he has more experience than every other shinobi on the planet and also the dimension he is in also slows aging, so he still looks very young and he also used the Kage Bushin special ability to help speed up his training, so double those years. On with the story. It had been 9 years since Naruto began his training with the combat droid and boy did he train. Naruto's power had skyrocketed beyond what anyone could ever believe. Naruto was able to go into his mindscape and there he met his parents. They told him they were able to see his life up till that point and had told him they would understand if he destroyed the planet and would be proud of him no matter what he did. Naruto found himself in his own personal heaven as he spent time with the spirits of his parents, and they even taught him a few things that had not been programmed into the droid. In his time of training he had mastered the art of flying using his Kai. He also learned everything his father knew, all of his attacks and even his wrestling brawler fighting style. From his mother Fasha, Naruto learned all the tactics of her old commander Bardock. Naruto found it ironic that he would learn all of the battle tactics and strategies of the father of the man who had caused him so much pain. Naruto had changed so much in 9 years physically. He was now standing at 5'9" and all muscled like a martial artist, think normal Broly. He had his gold necklace and golden armbands on his biceps. He wore white baggy pants with a purple covering. Think Broly's outfit. He wore no shirt which showed off all of his pecs and 8-pack abs. His golden monkey tail was swishing back and forth whenever he wasn't in battle and tied around his waist whenever he was. Naruto's chakra, which he hardly ever used, was now beyond anything anyone on the planet could ever hope to achieve. His Kai had risen to a level far even beyond his own father. Hell, he had more Kai than even the legendary Gogeta in his Super Saiyan 2 mode. And he could now control his large Kai and keep others from fainting from being around him. Naruto had also trained in the shinobi arts and found that he had a talent for ninjutsu and fuinjutsu. His combat droid had been able to find all the knowledge on fuinjutsu from the famed Uzumaki clan and lots of ninjutsu from all over the elemental continent. Because of his high Kai, Naruto could only control his chakra to a certain point, so most of his ninjutsu arsenal consisted of high-level jutsu that used lots of chakra and didn't need control. Naruto had even tried his hand at summoning, and to find out what animal he had an affinity for he did the hand seals and performed the jutsu without a contract. It was ironic that his summon animal would also be the very summons of the Sandium Hokage, the Seru monkey tribe. Through some talks, which included Inku, Enma almost being obliterated as well as most of the Seru clan, Naruto had been able to convince the Seru clan to not only forfeit their contract with Hiruzen, but also allow only Naruto to be their summoner. As for his other abilities, Naruto was able to transform into a legendary Super Saiyan and even far beyond that, as he was able to transform into a Super Saiyan 2, 3, and he even had a form that was a combination of a legendary Super Saiyan and a Super Saiyan 4. In this form his power was always constantly growing by 1,000 times the longer he stayed in combat. Of course, too much power is a bad thing, and Naruto had to release some of his pent-up energy in huge Kai blasts that were more than capable of destroying entire planets. Of course, there was no one on the planet to really even challenge Naruto, so instead of going out and fighting everyone he trained his mind to withstand any kind of attack, and over time, he was able to conquer the Kyuubi who greatly feared him. Instead of killing Kyuubi like he first planned, Naruto actually befriended the demon, as Naruto's hatred was as strong as the fox's own. Naruto's combat experience had also increased thanks to the combat droid, which was able to transform into a likeness of Broly and had a quarter of the power the legendary Saiyan himself had, and each training session had Naruto in the dirt coming back for more, even as his own power increased, as Naruto learned that no matter how powerful you are, if your opponent had more experience than you are dead. Overall, Naruto was now not only the most powerful person on the planet, but now had the experience to back it up. While I have been away for so long, I think it's time to show this planet that their pathetic view of demons is nothing compared to me. Naruto said with a cold indifference. Yes, Gaki, we can now shake this world like no one else ever could, said the Kyuubi inside Naruto's mindscape. But that Naruto used an ability even Broly did not know, however his combat droid did, instantaneous transmission, and teleported himself back to the planet deep in a forest in High no Kuni. As soon as Naruto appeared he was able to sense a dark and foul power level that compared to him was truly nothing but larger than the other power levels in the forest. I know this forest, it's Area 44, the Forbidden Forest, my old training ground, thought Naruto as he headed towards the power level he sensed. Team 7. Team 7 consisted of the last loyal Uchiha in Konohagakure no Sato, Sasuke Uchiha, an over-obsessed civilian fangirl known as Sakura Haruno, and an unknown emotionless boy named Sai. They were in the second part of the chunin exams, and they were in the fight of their lives as they fought a psycho Kusagakure shinobi that totally outclassed them. Said shinobi was actually Orochimaru of the Sannin. He had come in search of the last Uchiha to have his body so he could further his goal of learning every jutsu in the world. He was kind of disappointed so far as the Uchiha didn't even begin to live up to his expectations. In years since what many had called the attack of the Golden Ape, Konoha had suffered. Many enemies had been on the horizon to attack Konoha, but the recall of the final 2 Sannin and reinstatement of Na and the militarization of Konoha as well as Konoha started making treaties with some of the smaller nations as well as Sunagakure no Sato. These alliances and recalling of such powerful shinobi forced other countries to think twice before attacking Konoha. Speaking of said ape, every nation began hunting it after learning that its power eclipsed that of even Kyuubi, in hopes of using it as a weapon. Fortunately, for them, no one had found the ape. The Akatsuki had a meeting about the ape, and it was agreed that they would also seal up the ape, just in case it was a new Biju. However, Madara knew that was impossible, but said nothing to Pain about it. After Naruto's disappearance from the village, everyone celebrated until Sarutobi was forced to tell them that Naruto and the ape was the same. Now the entire village feared him more than ever, and no one dared speak of it to outsiders, so no one outside the village knew that the ape was actually Naruto. The law regarding Naruto was lifted, and the younger generation knew of the Kyuubi. They all took after their parents' view and thought of him as a demon in human skin. Anyway, back to the story. Orochimaru, while not impressed by the Uchiha, as although the boy was at the level of a chunin due to the militarization of Konoha, he let his emotions and Uchiha pride get in the way of his performance, but Orochimaru still needed his body, so he prepared to give him his ten no Juin. However, before his neck completely reached over, Orochimaru's danger sense went into overdrive, and he dodged to the left just in time, because some sort of green blast destroyed the entire spot he had been standing in a second earlier. As well as up to a mile behind the sand and killing more than a dozen unlucky participants of the exam. "You were able to dodge my attack, you may be worth playing with for a bit," said a cold voice as Naruto appeared above them flying. Flying? Orochimaru's eyes bugged out as he imagined the possibilities of a vessel that could fly and use those green blasts, which took out a huge area in one shot. "Who are you, boy? Do you not know who I am? I am Orochimaru of the Sannin, and I will destroy you unless you come with me," Orochimaru said as he released his entire killer intent, which caused Sai and Sakura to faint and Sasuke to fall to his knees. "You puny insect think to threaten me, I'll crush you," Naruto exclaimed as he released 2% of his own killing intent, which dwarfed Orochimaru's own and brought Orochimaru to his own knees. "What kind of monster are you?" Sasuke asked as he was about to succumb to the killing intent. "I am more than a monster, boy, I am a true demon, and I am going to crush this world beneath my feet," Naruto stated as Sasuke lost consciousness. "I will destroy you, Gaki," Orochimaru shrieked as he opened his mouth and sent a snake that had Kusanagi no Tsurugi in it to impale Naruto. However, Naruto just caught the blade with his 2 index fingers and then did what was thought impossible and snapped the blade. Orochimaru looked on in fear as he realized this boy might be in a whole different league than himself. That was when Orochimaru noticed the golden monkey tail swishing behind Naruto and recognized it as the tail that was said to have been on the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. "You're the Kyuubi Gaki. I know you aren't worth my time like the Uchiha is," Orochimaru said in arrogance, forgetting what happened to Kusanagi. "Well then, I'll kill you now for believing that," Naruto said from beside Orochimaru, who was awestruck at the fact that he didn't even see the boy move. Before Orochimaru could dodge, he was hit with what felt like it had the strength of 100,000 times any one of Tsunade's punches to the face. Orochimaru flew through 12 trees and made a human crater in the last one. "I just broke 6 ribs, fractured my skull, and broke my jaw from getting one hit," thought Orochimaru in fear. "I must flee from this monster," Orochimaru thought as he watched Naruto walk towards him with an indifferent pace. "Orochimaru of the Sand, and you are truly pathetic and are not worth my time of destroying. I will let you run away with your life, but if you ever get in my way I will crush you like the worm you are," Naruto stated in a monotone as he sensed Anbu coming towards their position. "We'll meet again, boy, and when we do I will destroy you," Orochimaru seethed as he sunk into the ground using his attack prevention jutsu. "We shall see, worm," Naruto said to himself as he rose into the sky and used instantaneous transmission to teleport above a team of Sunagakur shinobi. "That red head with the gourd has very powerful chakra, but I can sense that it is stimulated by a Biju," Naruto thought to himself as he watched the Suna siblings walk towards the tower. "Naruto, that boy is the Jinchuriki of the Ichibi no Shukaku, he is probably unstable like the Tanuki inside of him," Kyuubi stated as it watched through Naruto's eyes. "Thank you for the knowledge, Kyuubi, maybe I can get him to join me in my quest to destroy this world, or at least to kill my enemies," Naruto thought as he noticed the red head stop and suddenly sand began rushing towards Naruto at a high speed, but to Naruto it was moving at a snail's pace in slow motion and he easily dodged it as he came to rest on the ground and watched the team before him. "You are fast to dodge my sand like that, mother is screaming at me to not fight you, but I feel my blood boiling just wanting to fight you," the redhead said. "Well, you should listen to that sand rat Shukaku and not fight me because I could easily just crush you right now," Naruto said as he prepared to fight the redhead. "My name is Ibuku no Gaara and I am going to crush you with my sand," Gaara said as his sand raced forward again. Naruto let the sand surround him before he used his Kai and made it explode outward, causing the sand to go everywhere and caused a shockwave that sent Gaara and his team flying backwards. And the shockwave shook the entire forest. What kind of monster is this guy to be able to make Gaara's sand just explode outwards with his chakra alone? Wait, that wasn't like any chakra I have ever felt. It feels like chakra, but different and more powerful, thought a frightened Kankuro. Said puppet user could also feel some of the killing intent coming off of the guy fighting Gaara, and although Kankuro was afraid to admit it, he knew that this guy was way stronger than even Gaara. Futen. Dai Kamatichi no Jutsu. Tamari yelled as she swung her fan towards Naruto, who just watched the blades of wind come at him nonchalantly. The said wind blades hit Naruto's aura before dissipating, without causing any damage to Naruto himself. Impossible, he should have been cut to pieces by that attack, thought Tamari in a panic. If that little breeze is all you can do, then I will just crush you all right now. Naruto yelled as he spiked his killing intent and Kai until he lit up the entire forest with his power, frightening everyone and everything in the entire forest and those in Konoha who could feel it, and they for a brief moment relived that day 9 years ago. And this was only 4% of his power. In Konoha at that moment. Hiruzen Sarutobi was at that moment working on his last bit of paperwork and reflecting back on the past 9 years. When he felt Naruto's power spike. Anbu, find me Jiraiya and Tsunade and Danzo and tell both councils to get ready for a meeting within the hour. Sarutobi said as he stood up and threw off his Hokage garb, revealing his battle armor. Naruto, have you returned to finish what you started all those years ago? Sarutobi asked himself as Jiraiya, Tsunade and Danzo all appeared into his office battle ready. I am sure you all felt that powerful chakra spike. It's Naruto and I don't know if he has come to destroy us or not, but we are going into the forest of death and we are going to stop him before he has the chance to transform into that ape again. Hi sensei, and I think I developed a seal that can seal up his abilities and memories and then Danzo can put him into his to finally be controlled. Jiraiya said with a heavy heart as he didn't want to do this to Naruto but had to so he could protect the village. Alright, let's go. Danzo said as they all shunshined into the forest of death. Back with Gaara and Suna's siblings. Such power, mother is really frightened of this guy and wants me to make peace with him to live longer than today, Gaara thought to himself as his sand came and guarded him from the shockwave. Now I will destroy you all. Well, it seems the Hokage himself has come to save you. Naruto stated as he felt the Hokage's chakra enter the forest and head for him with 3 other powerful chakras following him. You get to live past this day it seems, but cross me again and I will crush you all like the maggots you are. Naruto said as he took to the air and then used instant transmission to teleport to the Sandium and his team of shinobi. It was time for a little showdown. The clearing not too far from the Suna shinobi. Sarutobi, Jiraiya, Tsunade and Danzo shunshined into a clearing as they felt Naruto's power disappear for a moment before he suddenly appeared in the sky right above them with an evil-like smirk on his face that made them all shudder. All of the present shinobi began to sweat as they felt Naruto's overwhelming power just emanating from him in waves with no end in sight. It seems as if Naruto's power has increased more than 1,000-fold since we last saw him, and I feel as if my body will give out just from being near him, Sarutobi thought to himself as he brought out a special bow staff he had commissioned after the Saru clan forfeited their contract with him. So this is what it's like being near the kid, I can just feel that we stand no chance against him, thought Jiraiya as he formed a large dome of chakra around the area to keep the devastation to a minimum. Tsunade's thoughts reflected Jiraiya's own, but she also found herself slightly attracted to Naruto's well-muscled physique. Bad Tsunade, you are old enough to be his grandmother. Danzo however was thinking more along the lines of finding a way to learn all of the boy's abilities without dying and then somehow get him to kill the others so he could become Hokage and then have his new pet take over the rest of the elemental nations. But even Danzo could tell that this fight wouldn't be easy even with his right arm, which he had Tsunade check on and increase the potential of it, even though she along with Sarutobi and Jiraiya were disgusted that he would do something like that but couldn't do anything without risking the Na and Danzo's support in re-establishing the village. Surrender now Naruto and we will be lenient with you and allow you back into the village to serve it like you were meant to. Sarutobi stated as Naruto floated to the ground and then began cracking his neck and doing some over-dramatized stretches. You think I would ever bow to your pathetic village Sarutobi team? You are more pathetic than I thought and I look forward to crushing you all like I should have all those years ago. Naruto replied as he let out 6% of his Kai, which brought all of the cage-level shinobi to their knees and practically destroyed the chakra dome Jiraiya created and swept through the forest, causing many to fall to their knees in despair and even killed a few weak teams. Such power, it must be mine to better Konoha, thought the old warhawk Danzo as he fought with all his willpower to stand and still found himself barely able to get to his knees. You are all pathetic, this is only 6% of my overall power output and you weaklings can barely even stand, you aren't worth my time, but I will enjoy crushing your hope as I did Orochimaru's. Naruto said with barely restrained bloodlust. He fought Orochimaru and came out unscathed. What kind of monster is he, was the thoughts of everyone present. Naruto quickly bit his thumb and ran through a few hand seals with a yell of Kuchius no Jutsu. Inku Enma. In a poof the Monkey King Enma appeared and saw the situation and knew that after this day, there may be no more heroes in Sarutobi or his last loyal students and even the Warhawk. It was you who forced Enma to abandon Konohagakure no Sato and the Sarutobi clan. Sarutobi asked with a vengeance in his eye. I'm sorry Sarutobi, but he was going to destroy my entire clan and he was far too powerful for all of us together to fight. Enma said with regret as he transformed into his adamantine staff mode and flew into Naruto's hands. Don't worry Sarutobi team, I will take good care of the Saru tribe and make their name known throughout the galaxy after I am done with this world. But that Naruto engaged all of them in a combat to the death or at least a very painful maiming for the Konoha shinobi that is. Naruto began with a complex yet powerful combo of swings with a bow staff that took everyone by surprise with his mastery over Bijutsu that even Sarutobi in his prime might not have been able to compete with. Catching Sarutobi off guard, Naruto was able to knock away his customized staff and began hitting Sarutobi with swift yet brutal strikes that brought the aged Hokage to his knees. Jiraiya quickly entered his Sage mode and was able to kick Naruto with his enhanced strength, but Naruto didn't even register the hit and kept his focus on Sarutobi, who had been lucky enough to substitute away and come back with 2 Kage Bushin and combined a Doten. Doryu Taiga with a Katen. Karyuenden and a Futen. Tatapa. The jutsu combination formed a magnificent blazing machine gun-like effect, destroying all in its path as it shot towards Naruto, who just took the attack head-on and kept attacking Sarutobi, destroying both Kage Bushin with Enma. He is truly a monster to be able to go through a combination jutsu of that level and not even get scathed. Thought Sarutobi as he tried to dodge Naruto's wrestling brawler style to jutsu. Keyword being tried. Naruto clotheslined Sarutobi so hard that the aged man flew into the air and he felt like he had just been decapitated by ENB of Kumagakure using their combination Rariodo. Naruto would have grabbed Sarutobi had it not been for Tsunade coming up and using her strength to hit him with an uppercut with all her might. Naruto didn't even flinch and just used his neck to force his head down, as well as forced Tsunade to overstep and fall forward right into Naruto's knee, which made her feel as if she had just hit herself while pumped up on steroids. Jiraiya was able to catch Tsunade as she flew backwards, and Danzo stepped forward after going through hand seals using his Futen. Shinkaioki to make bullet-like wind spheres that destroyed even stone as they sprayed the area Naruto was in. However, like every other jutsu used against him, they did not even affect him as he charged up a small Kai blast that the shinobi were barely able to dodge and it destroyed more than 2 miles of the forest heading towards Konoha. Such monstrous power, I must have it for myself, Danzo thought as he quickly activated Izanagi and rushed forward with a kunai charged with Futen chakra, forming a scimitar. Naruto sensed a change around Danzo the moment Izanagi was activated and had Kyuubi give him insight to find out what the technique did and the Kyuubi answered, Izanagi is the ability to bend reality to a certain extent using the Sharingan and Senju bloodlines. Well, that trick won't work. Naruto said to himself as he charged his Kai aura around himself, making his green aura form a shield. What is this? Danzo asked as he saw that his Futen enhanced kunai was destroyed before it even came in contact with the shield completely. This you weakling is my Kai barrier, unlike you measly humans I can control my Kai and use it to do anything I wish like so. Naruto answered as he charged up a Kai blast and fired point-blank range at Danzo. Suddenly the Danzo that Naruto blasted shimmered away as another set of vacuum waves came and hit his barrier, not even making it flicker. Danzo appeared behind Naruto as a Sharingan on his arm closed. So that's what Kyuubi meant when it said you could control reality to a certain extent. Naruto pondered out loud. Izanagi is the ultimate jutsu that will ensure that you are put in your place, monster. Danzo answered as he threw Futen enhanced shuriken at Naruto as Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Sarutobi who has just been healed, combined an Inpo. Gamuden, Futen. Tatapa, and a Katen. Enden to form a massive flaming bullet that combined with Danzo's enhanced shuriken, forming a blazing cyclone around the shuriken. The attack hit Naruto's shield, causing a titanic blast in the forest. When the dust cleared they heard a dreadful laughter that made their spines quiver. Naruto laughed as he let their hopes rise so that he could tear it back down until they finally would realize he was inevitable and to stand against him was futile. Is that the best you can do and you call yourselves the Kami no Shinobi, Densetsu no Sannin, and a rival to the one known as the Kami no Shinobi, how pathetic you really are. But that Naruto appeared suddenly in front of all of them and in a show of flexibility kicked all 4 Kage level shinobi in their heads, sending each into different directions. Think Omega Shenron's kick against Gohan, Goten, and Trunks in GT. And just as Naruto was about to go and destroy Sarutobi, something unexpected happened. He sensed a power level that was as strong as a Super Saiyan 3, but it was weakened. You weaklings have been spared for another day, I will be back to destroy you all though. But that said, Naruto used instant transmission to teleport to the power signature as Enma poofed away to his realm. Naruto found himself on the border of Hai no Kuni. What Naruto found he was not expecting at all, a small almost microscopic piece of pink flesh was struggling to make its way towards Naruto. Naruto could sense the malice and evil in the little piece of pink flesh and it made the Kyuubi look like a happy pansy. "What are you?" Naruto asked as the flesh latched onto him and suddenly began to seep into him and Naruto was pulled into his mindscape. Mindscape. As Naruto came into focus he noticed that the pink flesh had taken the form of a kid about half his own height and yet muscular, although a little on the lean side. The kid was pink and had a tube-like appendage on his head and pure red evil eyes. This kid was the legendary and destructive juggernaut of the universe known as Kid Buu, the original Majin Buu. "Buu eat you?" Buu said as his eyes lit up with insane glee. Until Naruto blasted off his head and he totally regenerated it. "You will not eat me, you will tell me why you are inside me and how you got to this planet," Naruto said. "Buu kill you?" Before Buu could register it, Naruto was in front of him with his hand on his head and then he felt Naruto plunging into his mind, reliving all that the Majin had been through. Naruto saw countless planets and people destroyed by this creature and the joy he took in it, but Naruto found himself focusing on how Buu fought the Z fighters in countless battles as different versions of himself and then the final battle on the world of the Kais. Naruto then saw how only a tiny piece of Buu had been able to escape the blast but was too weakened to reform and so traveled through the universe until it came to this planet looking for the most powerful Kai level so it could use it to regenerate. Naruto also noted that Buu had the potential to be the most powerful being in the universe due to his beyond amazing regenerative ability and growth rate. Naruto also saw that as Buu absorbed other beings he became smarter, so with little preamble summoned forth a piece of soul that the Yondaime had sealed into him and allowed Buu to absorb it, transforming him into a taller version of his kid form. "I owe you my thanks, Saiyan, the power may be incredible, but the insanity isn't really worth it in that form," Super Buu said as he stretched and yawned. "You're welcome, Buu, tell me, how would you like to get revenge on those Z fighters?" Naruto asked as he formulated a plan that would make him more powerful and a true threat to the Z fighters. "I want to crush them," Buu roared as he thought of revenge. "Then how about we permanently fuse to become one being like the Z fighters and then go throughout the galaxy to find other powerful warriors and even use the Dragon Balls to bring back more than even they can handle," Naruto said as his mind went a mile a minute at the possibilities this presented. "If I fuse with you, boy, I want it so both our spirits can be here like right now, and if we bring anyone powerful back, the Z fighters may be powerful enough to defeat even them as they do still train," Buu retorted as he too thought over the possibilities of the plan. "How about we send a telepathic message to all of the most powerful defeated warriors and tell them to train 1,000 times harder, the only real fighters to worry about will be Kakarot and Vegeta as they constantly train." Naruto saw it as an afterthought. "That could work, okay boy, you have a deal, know that when we fuse you will gain all of my abilities and that includes my longevity, regeneration, and my Majin abilities," Buu said as he prepared for the fusion. "Good, because I can use all of that time to train and become strong enough to destroy the Z fighters, but first we shall conquer this planet and crush it for its abuse against me," Naruto said with hatred in his eyes. "Sure boy, now come grab my hand and be prepared for a new level of power." But that they grabbed each other hands and in a flash of light and blinding power they became one. Outside of Mindscape. As Naruto and Buu fused, the entire planet itself began to shake and quiver in fear and everyone on the planet knew that something powerful and evil had just been brought into the world as a pink mixed with green aura shot into the sky, turning the entire sky pink and green all over the planet. Hidden location. What kind of power is this to be greater than even the legendary and mighty Juubi? A masked Madara Uchiha asked himself as he actually quivered in fear at this awesome power. "I must have it for myself." With that thought he used his special Jikiken ninjutsu to teleport away in a swirl in search of this awesome power. Otherworld. King Kai had always regretted his decision to have Broly and his family killed, as even the Grand Kai and Supreme Kai both called him a fool for making a self-fulfilling prophecy of doom. It had been too late to stop Broly and Fasha from dying, but the battle had cost them greatly. Trunks, Piccolo, and Gohan had all been killed, while Vegeta had lost an arm and Goku had a hole in his chest. While Shenron had been able to reverse all of the physical damage, the mental damage had already been put into place. Having killed an innocent Fasha and to an extent Broly, Goku withdrew from training for a while and seldom spoke to anyone aside from his family. Vegeta for a time lost his will to fight, although he would never admit it. There were other scars, but none more so than baby Naruto himself. King Kai was forced to watch Naruto's life but couldn't interfere to fix his mistake due to the other higher Kais. Kai saw all of the pain Naruto went through and all of the hate he had to endure until it reached its zenith, and now a new monster had been created that far surpassed any before, as Naruto had now become one with Majin Buu himself. This is horrible, that world was already going to be crushed by the boy, but now I fear for the very reality we live in now, that he has become this new and far more powerful entity. Grigory. King Kai said as he talked to the flying little insect. I fear that I may have just caused the destruction of all of reality itself. King Kai said mournfully. As the green and pink light began to die down, a person could be seen. This person had on white pants that had an engraved and stylized M on the belt buckle and had black wristbands with a gold trim, and his hair was green and extra spiky, while his eyes were now an evil blood red and he possessed a maniac grin with sharper canines. This being was Naruto, or as he would now call himself, Majin Naruto. His already godlike powers had just jumped to a level that had no limit. He could now seek his revenge, but he would still need allies to help him along his way so that he would not fail as countless other villains had in the past against the Z fighters. Thanks to Buu's experience added with the many years Naruto had spent in his training dimension, Naruto had learned that while one man may have the power to destroy a galaxy, an army of men fighting for their homes could still win the day. With that in mind, Naruto used instantaneous movement, a different and far more effective ability than instantaneous transmission, to teleport back to his spaceship and consult his database on possible allies in the other world. The Megakure no Sato. Nagato, did you feel that evil power just now? A beautiful kunoichi with blue hair and a flower made from paper in her hair. This was Konan, an S-class chunin in the nefarious organization Akatsuki. Yes, I did, Konan, whatever that was, we must never try and fight it, it could obliterate this entire world. Uzumaki Nagato said as he trembled in his mechanical chair. He may have claimed to have the power of a god, but whatever that was, he just knew deep in his mind that it had true godly power. Pain, Konan, assemble the others and get ready to find whatever caused that power surge. Uchiha Madara as he used his Jikiken ninjutsu to appear from a swirl in the dark room that the other two Nukenin were in. Why would we attack something that we clearly cannot defeat, Madara? Pain said as his Rinnegan eyes narrowed while watching the ancient Uchiha. 9's class shinobi should be more than enough to take on whatever caused the power surge, now go and don't question me ever again, boy. Madara said with a deep malice in his voice. Fine, we shall go, but know this, if all of us die, your plans whatever they are will be gone, as we do not yet have any Biju and there won't be any members left to capture them. Pain warned as he used a special jutsu to contact the other members of Akatsuki to tell them of their next mission. Other world, Supreme Kai world. Right now Majin Buu has found a way to survive and become even more powerful. Yelled a very irate Kibito Shin. Calm down, youngster, we'll just have to get the Z fighters prepared to combat this new and powerful threat, and this now explains why King Yama was unable to reincarnate Majin Buu, he never died. Said the wise voice of old Kai. I don't know if we can defeat this new threat, this Majin Naruto elder, I mean he has pure Saiyan blood and he has a very dangerous ambition for revenge that when put into perspective is actually well deserved. Shin replied with a downtrodden look. Unfortunately, he cannot be allowed to kill the many innocents that would surely get caught in the crosshairs of the battle he searches for, and if he succeeds in bringing back an army of defeated otherworld warriors from HFIL, then he would no doubt rule the entire universe like no other has ever before him. Elder Kai stated as a look of trepidation spread across his aged face, and for a moment his halo flickered. What shall we do then, Elder? Will we save the despicable people of that shinobi planet he is on from his wrath? You see what dark plans were going on, and that planet was doomed the moment they showered that boy in hatred. Shin asked, a bit skeptical of saving a planet that would sacrifice 9 people to save countless others, only to then treat the saviors like trash. There is nothing we can do for that planet. From the moment they started sealing the Biju that the Rakuto Sennin gave life into people to make weapons, they doomed themselves, and we cannot interfere in that quadrant's affairs while we still have more of our own. Elder Kai said in sadness, knowing that there were some who were innocent but not enough to stop their destruction. May Kami have mercy on them, because Majin Naruto will not. Shin said as they watched Majin Naruto teleport to his spaceship and the Akatsuki move out to attack him. Naruto's spaceship. Database, give me a list of the most powerful enemies the Z fighters have faced that have the potential to fight evenly with them now. Majin Naruto said as he stood in front of his computer. Computing. The warriors with the most potential would be your mother and father, Cell, Cooler, Janemba, and the monster Hirudegarn. The computer replied as it pulled up data on each individual named. Naruto of course paid the most attention to his parents, whom he was going to summon back anyway. Naruto also noted that if he brought back Cooler and Cell, he would have to demonstrate to them why he would be the leader. He also admired the dimension and reality warping powers of Janemba and knew he would be a great asset, as would the monster Hurriedgern, seeing how it took a Super Saiyan 3 to take him down, and to date only Kakarot and himself had that kind of power. Okay, you, show me how to use your powers to communicate with each of the warriors. Naruto said as he went into his mindscape and saw the pink Majin in a meditative stance. Just clear your mind and think of each of the warriors and imagine using your dark magic to contact them. Buu replied as he watched Naruto take a similar position. Think how Babidi talked to people in their minds. But that Naruto began imagining Cell and Cooler. Naruto knew that after the big Jeet star had been destroyed, the Cooler went deeper into HFIL than most defeated warriors did and had to concentrate harder to find him. Upon visualizing both warriors, Naruto spoke, Cell, Cooler, my name is Majin Naruto, I am a Saiyan, and before you think of insulting me, know that I could and will destroy you both from all reality with but a thought if you do, now I have a plan that can get us all what we want, revenge. Revenge on whom exactly? Cell asked as he had been training by himself. On the Z fighters of course, I will bring you both back to life and give you a bit of a boost with my powers and allow you to fight by my side as I attack the Z fighters with all my might. Naruto exclaimed as his power rose, allowing both Cell and Cooler to feel it even deep in Otherworld, knowing he spoke the truth. Well, imagine Naruto, what else do we get out of this? It's obvious that even with all your power that you won't attack alone and you could use us as cannon fodder. Cooler finally entered the conversation as the sound of revenge greatly appealed to him. Well, you will get to live again and your power will at least triple from my Majin magic, making you powerful enough to fight evenly with a Super Saiyan 3. Naruto replied, knowing that a new lease on life and more power would win this argument. Well, then we say you have a deal. Both Cell and Cooler replied. But you two won't be the only ones I bring back, I will also bring back the beast Hurriedgern and break open the purification chamber once again and bring back Janemba as well as bring back my parents. Naruto said as he sensed 9 individuals as powerful as Orochimaru and in some cases stronger than Orochimaru approaching the cave his ship was hidden in. Who are your parents exactly? We don't need any weak tag-alongs. Cooler said arrogantly. Fool, my father could crush you like an insect, he is the legendary Super Saiyan Broly, and my mother is Fasha, making me one of the last pure-blooded Saiyans. Naruto exclaimed in anger at Cooler's arrogance and stupidity and mocking Naruto's parents. Cooler paled at the mention of Broly as he remembered fighting that monster when he first arrived in HFIL years back, and he along with every other warrior was defeated by the powerhouse that was Broly, and if what this Majin Naruto said was true, then he was surely to be even more powerful than his father. I apologize Naruto-sama for insulting your family. Cooler quickly apologized. Good, now I have unwelcome company to deal with, I want you two to train until the day comes when I am about to bring you back to life. Naruto said as he headed out of the spaceship to deal with his unwanted guests. Hi Naruto-sama. Both villains said as they both began their training in earnest. But that the connection was broken and Naruto prepared himself for battle. The massacre was about to begin. Outside the cave. Pain-sama, are you sure we should be doing this? The power dripping from this cave is making me want to run as fast and far away as I can. The usually stoic Uchiha Itachi said as he trembled approaching the cave that Zetsu had found only a short while earlier, at Pain's insistence of looking for the monstrous ungodly power that had shaken the entire elemental nations. One would think that they had a death wish to be searching for such terrifying power, and imagine the one who wielded it, hopefully a beast of some kind, that had its power tempered by its savagery, but Itachi had a feeling that was not the case. How right he was. Whoa, whatever it is, Samahata is actually frightened of it. Samahata says that the chakra that thing has is more than enough to cover this entire planet 1,000 times over. A freaking out Hoshigaki Kisame said a bit frightened. I hope you all came to die because I am going to deliver each of you to the Shinigami. Naruto's deep voice reverberated outside the cave as he walked forward with his ever-glowing menacing red eyes. We have come to claim your power in the name of Akatsuki, come with us quietly or be destroyed. Pain's Diva Path said as his 5 other paths appeared in an intimidating fashion. All of the Akatsuki began getting ready to use their abilities that made them so dangerous. Kisame took out his Great Blade Samahata, while Itachi activated his Mangekyo Sharingan, Sasori took out his Sandium Kazukiage puppet, Deidara took out his best clay for making his bombs, Konan made hundreds of paper shurikens mixed with paper bombs, Haiden brought out his scythe and gained a crazed look on his face, Kakuzu brought out all his masks except one. Pain's paths readied themselves, and Zetsu began sending out spores to drain as much chakra as he could from Naruto. Come at me with your best, otherwise the fun would end too soon. Naruto exclaimed as he let some of his and Buu's combined bloodlust leak, causing each and every member to fall to their knees in despair as they were coming to realize that this really was not a good idea to come here. Pathetic, only 4% of my bloodlust and you all bow to me HN, oh well, prepare yourselves. Naruto said as he eased up his bloodlust and the Akatsuki began to stand while shuddering from fear. Attack! Pain yelled as his body skilled into jutsu ran forward followed by Kisame and Haiden. Naruto dodged all of their hits like child's play as he smirked with his menacing eyes and watched as Itachi watched the ongoing battle trying to ensnare him in a genjutsu. Unfortunately Naruto had far too much chakra for that to work, as a genjutsu allowed you to control your opponent's chakra flow. Naruto's chakra was like billions of oceans above the sky, and Itachi was unable to get it to flow the way he wanted, resulting in a failed genjutsu attempt. Stand still Gaki so that Samehada can shave and eat your delicious chakra. Kisame taunted as he attacked using his powerful swordsmanship in a deadly dance with Naruto dodging each and every strike with ease. Such a pathetic thing to ask, your sword would be overloaded from just a smidgen of my chakra fool. Naruto retorted as he caught Samehada with his bare hand. What? His skin should be shaved and he should be losing chakra. Kisame thought as he tried prying Samehada from the Saiyan's hand. That was when Kisame noticed that Samehada did not look so good and through a mental connection he had with the Great Blade saw that Naruto was right. The chakra that Samehada had eaten was far too potent and different, causing the living sword to first go into shock before the scales on it overgrew and became totally engorged on that small amount of chakra from Naruto. This kid is really something, Samehada likes the taste but can take in no more without being destroyed. That shouldn't be possible with Samehada's appetite. Kisame thought as he quickly jumped back from Naruto and let Haiden go forth swinging his tri-bladed scythe with reckless abandon. Yes, I will sacrifice you to Jashin-sama. The psychotic priest exclaimed as he kept swinging his scythe in an attempt to get Naruto's blood. Pathetic, you have no style or finesse, showing that you care not for a true fight, but a brawl I won't waste my time with you. Naruto said as he backhanded Haiden causing the immortal's head to go flying off. Ow, you fucking heretic, when I get back on my body I'm going to butcher you. The decapitated head yelled as it landed a ways away. No, you will only die you fake immortal. Naruto said with a dark and slightly crazed look coming into his eyes. Guchius no Jutsu. Pain summoning body yelled as a six-headed dog and giant rhino appeared and quickly attacked Naruto. Naruto watched as the six-headed split into separate bodies and began attacking from all sides while the rhino charged headfirst at him. Boom. The rhino found itself being held back by a single finger as the six bait dogs found themselves being ripped apart by Naruto's now flaring aura shield. Pathetic. Naruto whispered as he totally destroyed the dog's body and then lifted up the rhino with a freakish almost hungry look in his eyes. I'm hungry, feed me now. Naruto yelled as a pink light shot from his index finger and turned the rhino into a large piece of chocolate. Yummy. With a great appetite he chewed on the chocolate as the Akatsuki shinobi watched in morbid fascination and with fear. What is he to do that? Is he truly a god? Pain thought to himself as he felt the connection with his summon disappear. Now where were we? Oh that's right, I was about to destroy you all. Naruto exclaimed as his green pinkish aura returned full force and began rocking the entire planet. But that Naruto suddenly appeared in front of Kakuzu, who had yet to really attack, and punched a hole in the immortal's body, causing 3 of his 5 hearts to immediately die, while causing the 4th to go into failure. Such power, I couldn't track him even with my experience, and to be able to destroy so many of my hearts with but one hit, I cannot defeat this monster. Kakuzu thought to himself as he quickly shunshined closer to Pain and Itachi. It's time for us to stop holding back if we want to leave here alive, Pain-sama. Itachi said as a reddish aura formed around him turning into an ethereal warrior. You are right Itachi, hold nothing back, we must prevail to end all war. With that said Pain summoned the gigantic Jidō statue in its full form. Konin's paper mixed with paper bombs flew at Naruto and wrapped around him, causing a huge explosion that blinded the rest of the fighters. Was that supposed to tickle me into submission? Naruto asked as the smoke cleared and he looked very bored. That should have at least liquefied part of him if not outright kill him. Konin yelled to Pain as the Jidō attacked with a huge set of chakra chains that wrapped around the young Saiyan in a binding motion. Pathetic. Said Naruto as he easily flexed his arms and destroyed the chakra chains. Now to show you true despair, what you see now is my base and weakest form, I will show you what a true Saiyan can do. Naruto said with a sadistic grin as his already monstrous power level jumped even higher and the entire planet began to darken and shake again. Insert Super Bu's theme. Naruto exclaimed as his spiky hair took on a greenish hue with a pink outline. His figure became a bit bulkier, but not LSSJ Nulkiad. Green, yellow, and pink lightning struck the ground as the very earth began to rip apart, think Goku going SS3 against Kid Buu in an anime. The Jidō tried to swat at the charging Saiyan, only to have its hand disintegrate, causing Pain to finally show the fear he had been fighting to keep hidden. This thing is a monster, we must retreat while we can, Akatsuki flee. Pain yelled. It's too late for that worm. Naruto exclaimed as a Kekai suddenly shot up surrounding the entire mountain range and trapping everyone inside. This barrier is formed by my spaceship using my very Kai, the only way for you to escape is to kill me. Naruto explained as he continued powering up. His power already eclipses that of all the Biju together, just how is he not destroyed by it all, thought a fearful Itachi as his Susanoo drew its Totsuka no Sakajiri. Now feel the power of a Super Saiyan Majin. But that said, Naruto's power destroyed all of the landscape around them, with a barrier protecting the earth from most of the damage. And Super Buu's theme. Now face me with my base powers multiplied by 50 and please make this a somewhat of a good fight. Naruto said as he flipped through a few hand seals and then drew some of his blood and summoned Enma in his bow form. But that the battle began in earnest. Where before they could at least see Naruto, even if just barely, now it was just impossible, and with Enma Naruto was truly outclassing all of Akatsuki. Through a complex but very elegant combo, Naruto destroyed 3 of Pain's bodies, including his healing body, summoning body, and absorption body. Itachi and Kakazu combined a Kakakyu no Jutsu with a Futon Atsugai to make a powerful firestorm, only to have Naruto charge what looked like a green Bijidama in his hand and fire it, causing both attacks to collide and explode. The Akatsuki were completely surprised to see the monster use an attack that was able to stop an easily S-rank collaboration technique that resembled a Biju's ultimate attack. Itachi, didn't you once tell me that the Kyuubi Jinchuriki was known for his extremely powerful aura and chakra as well as a golden tail like this being has? Could this be the Kyuubi Jinchuriki? Pain asked, fearful as he eyed the golden monkey tail swing lazily behind the boy they were fighting. And said boy was more than powerful enough to take them all on, and he was winning, which really put fear into the figurehead leader of Akatsuki. If this is one of our targets, we will never fulfill my ambition to end all war, Pain thought to himself as he used a Shinra Tensei to block a strike from the transformed Enma. I think this is him, Pain-sama, and his power is truly unbelievable, I'm going to seal him away with my Totsuka. Itachi claimed as his Susanoo engaged Naruto in a brutal battle of power. No need to say that Naruto was obviously winning. If this is all the power that you can all must. Before he could finish, giant objects made from iron began attacking him. He had forgotten about the puppet user Sasori as he had stayed back building up as much iron as he could to maximize his chances of killing Naruto. Stand still, Yugaki, and die like you should from my iron sand techniques. Sasori said in a monotone with a hint of arrogance in his voice. He had obviously never fought a Majin Saiyan before. Suddenly his Kazuki-age puppet along with most of his body was destroyed from a rampaging charge from Naruto, Broly's attack on Raging Blast 2 as a SS3. My art was meant to live 4F Sasori, the greatest puppeteer of Sunagakur no Sato died. Sasori-senpai. Deidara screeched as he released his C4 technique on Naruto after what was left of Akatsuki got behind Itachi's Susanoo for protection. Take this and feel my art, ye. Microscopic bombs attacked Naruto's innards, and the Akatsuki members began smirking until they noticed that Naruto was still standing and laughing. Ahahaha, fool, my regeneration rate is far greater than your bombs can handle, and since I'm a Saiyan, your bombs are only able to get to the most meaningless of my cells, which are my skin cells at most. Naruto yelled as the Akatsuki realized they would not be leaving this fight alive. Hisam, not one to be forgotten, had used the time to fuse with Samahata and create an entire Mobile Lake worth of water and used it to submerge Naruto into his domain to at least give the rest of Akatsuki time to escape. Now face me and Samahata at our best. With that exclamation, he began swimming and attacking Naruto from different direction in the water and draining his powerful and potent chakra that actually began to hurt himself with each second gone by. Outside the dome of water, Pain and the rest of Akatsuki had decided that they would all use their strongest attacks and flee as best they could. Debaku Tensei. Pain said as he threw a black orb into the sky and it began to increase in size. Itsuka no Megatama. Itachi said as his Susanoo prepared to throw 3 Tomo-shaped energy blasts. Hami no Shisha no Jutsu. An entire chasm opened up and billions of explosive tags began swirling to the top, ready to explode on command. Shifu. Deidara said as another clay form of himself was formed and it began releasing its microscopic bombs into Naruto's direction. Futon. Atsugai. Kakazu said as he created a wind blast in his mouth but held it and added more chakra to it, increasing its devastating power. As Kisame sensed the Akatsuki's attacks reach their zenith, he knew he would die, and he also began to ponder why Naruto had not yet freed himself from his jutsu, and then he noticed the bloodthirsty smile on the Saiyan's face. This is so much fun, I'm going to claim your blade after this fight, and I might even let your friends go just so I can have a challenge in the future. Naruto said as he suddenly teleported in front of Kisame and plunged his hand into the missing nin's chest and crushing his heart beyond repair. Samehada unfused from Kisame and began weeping as the water jutsu surrounding them disappeared with its creator's death. Attack now everyone. Pain yelled as his Shibaku Tensei became the size of a giant asteroid and began sucking in Naruto. Naruto picked up the weeping blade of Samehada and dodged the attacks of the Akatsuki as he sealed Samehada into his arm for another day. Naruto erected another aura barrier to keep out the explosions from Konin's explosive notes and the other blasts of the Akatsukis as he felt the sway of Blood's waves coming from the planetary body hanging in the sky above him. I enjoyed playing with you fools, but now I will show you what happens when you create a planetary body that emits Blood's waves on a true Saiyan with a tail. Just sit back and watch as my power increases 100-fold more. Naruto exclaimed as his body began transforming, growing twice the size of any Biju. Golden fur sprouted all over him and his eyes lost their irises and became blood red. Oh no, he was that ape that almost destroyed Konohagakure no Sato, everyone flee now. Itachi yelled as he summoned an entire flock of crows to block Naruto's vision, only to have them vaporized by a red beam of death that struck and destroyed the barrier keeping them in. I will allow you pathetic ants to flee for now so you can entertain me later, but for now bye-bye. Naruto said as he charged a red beam that struck what was left of Vegito Maizu and destroyed it utterly. But that Naruto transformed one more time, but this time into his SS4, mixed with LSS form to not attract any more attention than would already be on him. Now I need to send a few robots to the Z Fighters world so I can watch them and see how much they have improved since you have been gone, Bu. Naruto said into his head. Yes, they were very powerful fighters and knowing Goku and Vegeta after my defeat they are training harder than ever. Bu said with wisdom. I will personally kill that disgraced Kakarot and the arrogant Prince Vegeta. Naruto said as his power returned to normal and he went back to his base form. Another world. Goku, Vegeta, I have bad news that you are not going to like at all. King Kai said telepathically. What is it, King Kai? Goku asked as he ate his 50th bowl of food. The son of Broly has become one with Bu and become an entity of such power that all Kais have been forbidden to even come into contact with. He has surpassed his father and I fear even you, Goku and Vegeta. King Kai said fearfully. We should never have killed Broly and his wife, not a day goes by that I don't regret that decision, King Kai. Goku said remorsefully. What's done is done, Kakarot, there is nothing we can do and that monster did not deserve to live. Vegeta said vehemently as he flew away from the sun's house after a day of training with Goku. I have been told by the upper Kais to show you what the child's life has been like to turn to this path and then when he comes to this half of the galaxy, you must choose to face him or die. Kai said as he began to telepathically show them Naruto's life. And when it was over even the normally cold heart Vegeta was ready to almost weep almost. Their worlds would never be the same again as they both knew the inevitable fight that would probably tear the earth asunder was coming close in the future. Previously. Another world. Goku, Vegeta, I have bad news that you are not going to like at all. King Kai said telepathically. What is it, King Kai? Goku asked as he ate his 50th bowl of food. The son of Broly has become one with Bu and become an entity of such power that all Kais have been forbidden to even come into contact with. He has surpassed his father and I fear even you, Goku and Vegeta. King Kai said fearfully. We should never have killed Broly and his wife, not a day goes by that I don't regret that decision, King Kai. Goku said remorsefully. What's done is done, Kakarot, there is nothing we can do and that monster did not deserve to live. Vegeta said vehemently as he flew away from the sun's house after a day of training with Goku. I have been told by the upper Kais to show you what the child's life has been like to turn to this path and then when he comes to this half of the galaxy, you must choose to face him or die. Kai said as he began to telepathically show them Naruto's life. And when it was over even the normally cold heart Vegeta was ready to almost weep almost. Their worlds would never be the same again as they both knew the inevitable fight that would probably tear the earth asunder was coming close in the future. Now with Naruto. Soon I shall have all I need before leaving this wretched planet and going to Earth to find the Dragon Balls and bring forth my new allies. Naruto said to himself as he finished repairing all the systems in his spaceship. Samehada, which had up until this point been weeping in a corner of the ship, slinked over using its sharp scales and laid its head on Naruto's lap and he pet it like a dog while slowly feeding it some of his kai. By doing this Naruto was already changing Samehada to match his own signature, which would be good for when he faced the Z fighters. As Naruto thought to himself, the Kyuubi decided to tell him the truth of the shinobi world and hoping that maybe by doing so would give Naruto the means to defeat the Z fighters. Naruto, there is a story I must tell you of this world that many do not know or believe in. My father, the one who created me and my siblings, was known as the Rakuto Sennin. From your droid's databanks it was said that the Rakuto was the most powerful shinobi to live and he was. He once made a prophecy of how me and my siblings would one day become more than we could ever know and I have a feeling that you are the one he spoke of in his prophecy. I shall tell you my true name, as over the years I have come to trust you as a being and a friend due to your past in Konohagakure no Sado. My name is Kurama. The now named Kurama spoke inside of his seal to Naruto. I am pleased that you have confided this in me, Kurama-san, and if it is any consolation, I think I may have found a way to free you from the seal, but it will take time that I do not have right now to do so without damaging my abilities. Naruto replied to Kurama as the fox closed his eyes for a nap with an actual smile on his face, thinking of a brighter future for the Biju. Droid, I need you to locate the other Jinchuriki. I have decided to take them with me when I leave this planet. Naruto said. I know where the Ichibi no Shikaku is, so no need for you track him, droid. It looks like I shall be paying a visit to Konohagakure no Sado again. Maybe I should cause a little more destruction this time, hahaha. Naruto laughed as he began making plans to train the other Jinchuriki to be able to at least destroy the people of Earth and search for the Dragon Balls, or he would use them to cause havoc on Earth while he and his other world allies would destroy the Z fighters. Hinoha at the moment. What do you mean the demon took on all of you in one? Screamed a civilian councilman as the shinobi and civilian councils listened to Sarutobi, Jiraiya, Tsunade, and even Danzo retell the story of their defeat to Naruto. We were little Green Academy students compared to him, is what we mean, civilian. Jiraiya said as he narrowed his eyes in annoyment. We can't let this stand, the demon must be destroyed for the safety of this world, and we must do it now. Haruno Mibuki, a retired Kunoichi, screamed as she thought of how the Kyuubi has ruined her career as a Kunoichi. Silence. Sarutobi yelled as his killing intent flooded the room. No more actions will be taken against Naruto until we can understand his powers and possibly neutralize him as a threat. But that finality, all of the civilians left the meeting hall as the shinobi gathered around the three senior Kage shinobi. Okage-sama, do you have any advice for what we should do if Naruto returns? Nara Shikaku asked as his mind went through thousands of scenarios with Konohagakure always losing. The only thing I can say is hope that he has mercy on you, Shikaku-san. Sarutobi said sullenly. Suddenly a crow poofed into existence beside Jiraiya and dropped a scroll before poofing away again. What is that, Jiraiya-kun? Sarutobi inquired as the sage opened the scroll and his eyes widened as he read it. It seems an undercover organization that my spy network has been gathering information on has made their move. They are hunting the Jinchuriki, and it seems not long after we fought him, they found Naruto, and although each member are S-class Kage level shinobi, they were beaten severely. What makes it worse is that there were 9 of them, and it would seem one member. One Hashige Kisame was killed and his Samehada taken. Jiraiya said with disbelief. What? Danzo thundered as he realized that his plans may be in jeopardy with Naruto gaining more power. Seeing Danzo lose his cool so easily disturbed the other shinobi in the room as the elder suddenly got up and stormed out with no shinobi flanking him. How did such an organization get past us, Jiraiya-kun, and do you know any other members? Tsunade asked as the shinobi council began to leave the room. Well, I first tracked the Akatsuki as they are called when I was hunting down Orochimaru. He joined them for a time, but then Uchiha Itachi joined them and Orochimaru left. This information greatly concerned Sarutobi and Tsunade as they realized just how powerful Itachi was, and there must be someone truly powerful to control him and 7 other S-rank shinobi. Ami, help us if Naruto decides to take control of this Akatsuki with his powers and able to defeat them all, they just might follow him indeed. The Sandium said wearily. Only time will tell, sensei. Jiraiya said as they each went their separate ways. An hidden cave. What do you mean you were all defeated by a boy? Toby yelled at Nagato and Konan as they attended to their injuries. He was beyond a god, he was beyond anything I have ever seen, even the Rakuto Sennin would be no match for that boy. Nagato answered with fear going down his spine as he thought of the Kyuubi Jinchuriki's ability to turn matter from one thing to another. It doesn't matter how powerful he is, he cannot stand up to the power of Uchiha Madara. Toby said menacingly as he disappeared in a swirl as he went to go capture Naruto himself. He is a fool and will die for such arrogance, I just hope the Kyuubi Jinchuriki will stop with him. Nagato said with finality. You really do fear the Jinchuriki, don't you, Pain-sama? Konan asked her friend as she healed. Konan, I more than fear that monster, I would rather be destroyed 100 times over than see him again with those evil red eyes. Pain shivered at the thought of those maniacal red eyes. With Naruto. I sense a flickering power level, as if they are using a teleportation technique. It's nothing compared to mine, it feels as if it's only around 3000, but it's not always the most powerful one that wins the fight either. Naruto thought aloud. Droid, continue to upload all the data on the other Jinchuriki and Z fighters, I'll go deal with my new guest, and put up a negating field matrix to stop all space-time jutsu, I don't want this person to get away from me. But that Naruto sped outside to face his new Maya enemy, wondering how he would taste his chocolate. With Toby. So this is the Kyuubi Gaki's base. Not bad, maybe we can turn this into another Akatsuki base after I deal with him. Toby. Toby ducked just in time to miss being hit with a pink beam of energy. I thank you for entering my home, I didn't know food would come to you just for the eating. Naruto said as he appeared in front of the masked Akatsuki member. What power. To be this close to this boy, I feel as if the Jubi would stand no chance against this boy. Toby thought as he looked into the crazed red eyes of his target. You feel like a weakling to me, but a workout and a meal is too hard to resist. Just don't die too quickly. But that said, Naruto blurred into existence in front of Toby so fast that his Sharingan couldn't keep up. What? I can't keep up with him even with my Sharingan. Naruto punched Toby in the stomach. Toby was not expecting the attack to actually hit him. How can he hit me? My Jikuken ninjutsu with my Sharingan should work for 5 minutes before Hugh can even get the chance to lay a finger on me. Even while thinking all of this, Toby was flying backwards at an astonishing rate right into the cave wall, leaving a crater in his wake. Blood leaked from his mouth in small dribbles as a white fluid started to seep from his broken and torn right arm. How were you able to hit me, boy? My Kamui jutsu should have made me intangible. Toby said with anger in his voice. Oh, you mean that little Jikuken ninjutsu trick you do? I just had my special battle droid set up a special negating field that distorts all use of Jikuken ninjutsu. There will be no running away for you. Naruto yelled as he sped towards Toby again. I have no choice now but to fight with the intent to kill. Toby thought as he dodged to right. Naruto crashed into the wall, almost leveling the entire cave. You didn't think that you could beat me that easily, boy. Toby roared as he summoned a war fan from a storage scroll he had in his pocket. Yes, give me a good fight. My Saiyan blood is beginning to boil. Ha ha ha, the maniacal glow in Naruto's eyes became deeper. Pain. Bikakyu no Jutsu. A giant fireball flew toward Naruto at breakneck speeds. As if that would do anything to me. Naruto thought as the flames engulfed him. But I got him now, all I have to do is. Toby's thoughts were interrupted by a crazy laughter. An unhinged laughter. You really thought that would do anything against me? Naruto walked out of the flames without any injury. That was barely a warm breeze. The beam of green energy shot through Toby's shoulder. Ah. What power is this? It's not the Kyuubi's power. Toby shouted as he clutched his wound. Making a cage bushin to dig underground using his hiding like a mole technique, Toby did a few more hand seals and used an explosive jutsu to keep Naruto back from him. It didn't work so well. Now you are just being a stubborn ant. Come die like a good boy. Ha ha ha. Naruto rushed forward and began plowing into Toby over and over like a raging wrestler. I will not be defeated by the likes of you. I am Madara Uchiha and I will be a god of this world. Sacrificing his hidden left Sharingan, Toby enacted the forbidden jutsu of the Uchiha clan. Izanagi. For the next 5 minutes he would be invulnerable to death. What a 5 minutes it was. I sense that you have done something to yourself, but it won't matter, you will always be dog food. But that Naruto began beating the life out of the self-proclaimed Madara Uchiha. How about a handicap, boy? I only have use of one arm now. Toby slightly pleaded. Is that another word for coffin? Ha ha ha. Naruto continued blasting at Toby. Granted, each time a deadly hit was scored, Toby would appear at a different place. This must be something other than a space-time ninjutsu to be able to work inside my distortion barrier. Oh well, more fun for me. But that Naruto began blasting Toby with Kai Blast, more powerful than air rank jutsu. I'm almost out of time with this Izanagi, he has to have some sort of weakness. Maybe I can get close enough to release the Kyuubi and then I can win this battle. Toby thought as he tried to dodge another Kai Blast. Keyword being tried. Why don't you just give up? Naruto yelled as Toby reformed once again. I never really learned how to. Toby retorted as he sped towards the Saiyan. Naruto decided to see what the fool would do this time. Grabbing onto Naruto's stomach, Toby began using his chakra to try and force the Kyuubi out of the seal. Unfortunately, Naruto's powerful Kai was also protecting the seal from being cracked. Added on with the fact that he had fused with Majin Buu and secured Kurama even further. Toby was not having a good day at all. You could never beat a true freak like me, trash. Toby was smacked into the wall once again, except this time his Izanagi could not save him. Naruto was beside Toby before he could blink, grabbing him by his throat. You're weak and not worth my time. Without your Kamui it seems you are worthless. Now you shall become my lunch. With that said, a pink beam shot from Naruto's now outstretched finger and hit Toby. When the pink light finally died down, what was once Toby was now a milk chocolate candy bar. Yum, milk chocolate. With that short sentence, Naruto gobbled down the chocolate. In doing so, he gained all of Toby's, who he now knew was really Obito Uchiha, memories. Including the part he played in getting Kurama sealed into Naruto. While Naruto did not hate the giant fox, he did hate how he had been treated due to being a Jinchuriki. He also learned even more truths of the Jubi and real Madara Uchiha. Kurama, it seems the Akatsuki now have something that I need and want if I am to claim the power of the Jubi. Naruto said as he locked Obito's essence away from influencing him. Yes they do, and you can now summon it due to having this boy's abilities. You even have the powers of his eye. You can always get the other eye from that Kakashi had, it can have a complete set. Buu said as Kurama agreed with a nod. Yes, the eyes are always more powerful in a pair rather than just one at a time. Kurama added. Maybe I will, perhaps I should collect a few more eyes just to increase my power by an insignificant amount. Perhaps I can use the Eye of the Moon plan on Earth to keep the weak Earthlings out of my way. Naruto said, going back onto his ship. First you must gather the other Jinchuriki and their partners so you can complete the Jubi again. Buu said as he concentrated on sifting through more of Obito's memories. I know, and I already have a few ideas on how to get their cooperation without killing them. I don't think I could kill those who would understand my pain. I know, Naruto, and I won't ask you to do that. Buu replied. Droid, how goes the preparations for the ship? Are we prepared for the long journey to Earth, and do we have enough room to bring about 8 or so others along? Naruto questioned his droid. Yes, Master Naruto, the ship is ready to be launched at any time and can accommodate a large number of occupants comfortably. The droid stated. But take us into orbit, I want to get a good look at this planet and see what other useful things I can find to crush the Z fighters. But that the ship began to rumble as its teleporting feature activated and it teleported away into orbit. What if Naruto Legendary Super Saiyan God Chunin exams, and thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoy this content then do consider subscribing to my channel and leave a like if you guys need the next part, comment down, and thanks for watching the video and see you guys next video.